right? We're seriously not going to be jumping up and down and doing silly stuff all day. We're going to be doing productive stuff, but I want you to change your way of thinking, because one thing that we're not doing today, we're not learning how to manage time, because you can't. It's like military and intelligence. Can you imagine the same two words like that in one sentence? It's impossible. It doesn't work, right? Same as time and management. It just can't work. There's no such thing. But what we can learn to do is we can learn to manage, and this, listen carefully to what I'm saying now. We can learn to manage the right, and that's the crucial term here, the right activities within our available time. Let me say that one more time. We can learn to manage the right activities within our available time. Because imagine this, I get a really cool system, an amazing time management system, and off I go and I really become efficient at doing the wrong stuff. So one of the first and most crucial things that we need to do, and we're going to do that today, is identify what our right activities are to achieve the outcomes that we want. Because until we know what the right activities are, basically, you know that hamster wheel? That's what you're on. We all like to do the comfortable stuff. We like to do the convenient stuff. We like to do the familiar stuff. Not necessarily the right stuff, but we like to do the familiar stuff. I don't know if you know somebody like this. Maybe there's a few of you in this organization. Wake up in the morning, battle to wake up, push the snooze button, get that extra 10 minutes of sleep, drag themselves out of bed with their knuckles pulling through the carpet as they go to the bathroom in the morning, so that they barely can peer through these eyes that are open, and they look at themselves and they somehow get themselves to work. Driving to work, they listen to the radio, the news fills their head with a whole lot of nonsense. They get to work, and guess the first thing they do? Guess what they do? They go and have a cup of coffee. And they stand and they drink this cup of coffee for half an hour. Well, they shoot the breeze with their friends. And then, of course, now they've been at work for half an hour already. And so what they do is they've got to now go put their computer on. So they put their computer on, and their computer starts booting up. And then, of course, the first thing that they do, most important priority activity of the day, is they go to their emails. And what do they do on the emails? We've got to listen and watch all those funny ones, haven't we? So they spend another 30 minutes listening to and watching all these funny, absolutely hysterical things that have come on the emails. And then, of course, it's time for another cup of coffee. And so their day progresses. And then when it comes to, what is Chayili time here? 4. 4:45. They have already shut their day down. They are waiting. As that clock hits 4 o'clock, they are wheel spinning, and they're the first person in the car park. do we know anybody here that's like this? Okay. So, but I have a time issue, Andrew. I don't have enough time. This is an absolutely major problem in my life. I'm short of time. But am I actually short of a commitment to use my available time as efficiently and effectively as possible? Because the reality is, we all have habits. Are those habits serving you? Or are those habits restricting you? And that's the question you've really got to be asking yourself is what are your habits doing? A couple of years back, I could have written a book on procrastination. I was so good at it, I actually fooled myself. I actually didn't believe that I was procrastinating. I didn't believe that I was wasting time. And I'd get on I was that person, get on that hamster wheel every day, waste hours and buckets of time, allowing everybody else's priorities to be more important than my own, and wonder why I couldn't get stuff right. And so the reason we did this morning was to actually say to you, let's open our minds. Let's stop allowing society's expectations, because that's what society tells us to do, right? We born these incredibly inquisitive, perfect beings. And then what happens? Coaches, teachers, parents, life, and we all get pushed into boxes. Conform. Do things. Other people's priorities are more important than yours. And so we don't get the things done that we should get done because we are conforming. And where are we? We call it something. We call it our comfort zone. But is it comfortable? We wouldn't be here today if everybody was comfortable with what they were doing. We're here because it's familiar. It's familiar what we do every day, but it's not comfortable. So that's what I'm asking you to do. I'm gonna stretch your mind a lot today. I'm gonna ask you to get right out of the box. Not in fact, I'm gonna ask you to find a completely new box. That new box is what's going to allow you to change. But what's our biggest challenge? Our biggest challenge. Yeah, that is one of them.
How big is that box?
Big enough. Okay, so literally what I'm going to ask you to do is, and you guys are involved in training, so you know one of the greatest challenges we have as teachers is getting people not to learn it, because some of the stuff I'm going to be sharing with you today, you're going to go, duh. But the question I ask you is, not do you know it, but do you do it? And that's where you have got to come in and say, okay, so let me get into a new box. Let me do things differently, because if I want things to change, what can I change? Go and change the president. Go on, off you go. Change him. You can't. No. Interest rates. Go on. You can't. Petrol, price of petrol. Go on. Go change it. But what do we bitch and moan about the most in life? Those things. But what can we change? Exactly. All of those. You can only change you.